The secrets and mysteries of Bigfoot have not yet been unlocked. Jane Goodall once quoted, "I'm a romantic. I would like Bigfoot to exist. I've met people who swear they've seen Bigfoot. And I think the interesting thing is, every single continent, there's an equivalent of Bigfoot or Sasquatch. There's the Yeti, the Yowie in Australia, the Chinese wildman, and on and on." May 29th, 1953 was some of the first unleashing of evidence and wonders there is possibly something bigger than just the human race. Two adventurous explorers, Norgay and Hillary, were exploring in the Himalayas when they found huge footprints in a snow-covered field. A similar situation happened 2 years prior on Mount Everest when an expedition team found footprints. A famous and well-known film ever taken of Bigfoot came from Robert Patterson and Bob Gimlin in 1967. This film is famously known as the Patterson-GIMLin film, and it raised controversy and questions to the public. Was Bigfoot possibly real? German author Reinhold Messner wrote a book, My Quest for the Yeti, Confronting the Himalayas' Deepest Mystery. Messner shared his experience in 1986 when he had been doing an expedition in the Himalayas and encountered what he thought could have been a possible Yeti. Messner described the creature he had seen to be almost a hybrid of a polar bear and a brown bear. 1998 is when Messner published his book. The following is an excerpt describing his emotional dedication to find what he saw. He explored the labyrinths of the forests, ravines, and precipices, scouring isolated monasteries and remote village marketplaces, seeking testimony, relics, footprints, and hoping he would again confront his creature and capture it on film. Bigfoot expert researchers Richie B. and Wojo weigh in on their thoughts of Messner's experience.
There's a lot of talk about that Messner incident. I mean, I just go with the general community. I exactly, right up on it in a sense. There's juveniles, you know what I mean? I believe Yetis, when you grow in live in different geographical areas, like humans, we tend to be shaped different, heights may be different, the sun hits us different, so you got people that live in the North Pole and people that live in the Caribbean. So, totally, and everywhere in between, and they all look totally different. So I truly believe, and it could have been in the phase of getting its camouflage, so to speak, where it's born, like for instance, baby deer has spots, and then the spots go in the woods as a full-grown deer. So I think a lot of that might have been phasing out into the area around them. Which would be white. And the Yetis are generally known as gray or white, goes with the area so they can live. I mean, we have, lizards that do that, right? We have other animals, octopus that do that. They could camouflage with their area instantly. And I'm not suggesting that that's what a Yeti can do. I'm saying they all have some kind of certain area, like what we're dealing with right now in the woods that we're in right now. There's been chaos through here. They're hard to see. We've heard them run through the woods, right? But I'm sorry if that answers your first part of the question. What What do you feel if somebody saw like something like that, like a half polar bear, half bear? You know what I mean? Like, would you feel the same way?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It depends on like the area that you're in, and it's, with the sunbeams down, things like that. It's just, to be camouflaged. They could just blend in with the nature, and there's been incidences where people like that have supposedly seen Sasquatch, where the Sasquatch is like, they think it's black, but it's not. It's actually light brown. So the colors, tend to change on the direction of sunlight. But yeah, I agree with what Richie says.
Messner faced a lot of criticism and scrutiny when he came out with his experience in a 1986 Indian newspaper. This seems to be an ongoing challenge many researchers in this field still face today. Messner once quoted, "Why this skepticism? The answer is simple enough. Explorers and discoverers see what they want to see. Like all of us, they perceive reality through their own preconceptions." The German author never claimed to have 100% seen a Yeti, but he couldn't explain what it is he saw, and he received negative backlash for it.
So Messner went to an Indian newspaper in 1986, and he was trying to explain his experience. And when he did that, he faced a lot of criticism and backlash from it. And so he waited till 1996 to write the book and publish it about his experience. So during your research and having conversations, have you guys experienced that same criticism and backlash from people that doesn't necessarily believe in a Bigfoot?
Yeah, I could speak on that. I've dealt with some, and to be honest with you, I can relate with him. I had experiences in my backyard for a good 8 years solid, and I didn't want to come out and tell anybody. I had kids growing up there, and I was nervous of people flooding the area, obviously, but I was also afraid of the ridicule and things like that, so I didn't really say anything. And then, as you know, I lost a son in 22, and that just opened up the doors of passion in my heart, and I wanted to share what I was experiencing with the world. And it's a subject that I truly love, but kept inside. It's like a true love you have, and you don't want to tell the world yet. Some guys, maybe write a book about it, and they have the mystery person. It's weird, but it's like that.
I had several people that approached me, and they laughed and think I was crazy, but what I just do is just throw it right back at them. And the way I do it is this: I've known you guys for this many years, and you think that I would just put myself out in front and create something that's not real? And how about this? And I challenge them: just go put your boots on, walk with me in the woods with me and Rich, and we'll show you what we see and and what's happening.
With surrounding critiques and negativity, we can look past that and realize there is a huge interest surrounding Bigfoot legends, and humans have a natural instinct to crave and gain knowledge. American primatologist and herpetologist Russ Mittermeier once quoted, "This recent upsurge in both Yeti and Bigfoot over the past couple of years has been impressive and a little hard to explain, other than perhaps attributing it to our never-ending quest for knowledge and our desire to explore new worlds." In the midst of skeptics, Bigfoot being claimed as a myth, and researchers' never-ending craving for proof and knowledge, why do people keep having these strange experiences? I interviewed two people who claim they have seen Bigfoot. Bradley, from a small town in North Carolina and longtime hunter, shares his experience.
Well, it was in April, I know that, and it was Sunday afternoon, probably around, I don't know, 2:30, something like that, and it was during turkey season, and they just had open a Sunday turkey hunting season, so that's why I went. And I come up here to where I usually go and have seen, you know, turkeys in the past and stuff, and
right. Go ahead. No, you good.
And I went and picked my spot out where I usually sat at and stuff, because I know that they'd be coming over the ridge, you know, right there where it was at. So I sat right there, and I done a couple yelps and stuff with my slate call. You know, I didn't hear that, and I sat, you know, like I usually do, wait a little bit, maybe 10 to 15 minutes, hit it again, didn't see nothing. Probably about 5 minutes after that, I caught something in my eye way down, coming up beside the ridge where it's kind of thick brush, because usually when I'm looking this way, it's where the turkeys usually come, because they ain't gonna come through that thick. But I seen something black, and it was just coming on up, but you could barely see it because the brush and stuff was there, and then it stopped, and I thought it was like a bear or something. I was like, maybe it's a bear, you know, coming through here. And then it, because as it got closer behind another big tree, it stepped out the other clearing a little bit, and it stopped in a stance like that. And that's what I remember in my mind. You know, it stopping like that. And I'm looking at its head, and I'm looking at its, you know, arms. And I said, it was black from the top of its head all the way down his fingers. And then, you know, I couldn't see no lower than maybe right around his thighs or his knees there.
Right.
I'm thinking, you know, what in the world, you know, is that? You know, I said, that ain't no bear. I say, ain't no way a bear's walking on his feet like that, you know, coming up through there and then stopping and standing like that. Well, I didn't think that about it, and probably 10 seconds later, I just kept looking down and watching, thinking maybe it's going to come around. Well, then another one comes behind it. Same thing, black, solid down black, and I'm thinking, looking up that tree, and I said, now that one's a little bit shorter than the other one was. And I said, who in the world's in here during the day? And I said, it can't be nobody. I said, because it's solid black, and it was bright as, you know, the sun was out, it was bright. But yeah, it was just black as all get out in this, and it didn't never stop like the other one did. It kept just following back behind it until it disappeared over into the pine thicket. And I just sat there and waited, and just to see if they'd come. I didn't call no more, nothing like that. And I think I probably waited 30 minutes to an hour, didn't show up, and so I just packed up and backed out.
Mr. Dean is from the Appalachian Mountains of Virginia, and although he adds a humorous twist to his sighting, he claims he has indeed seen Bigfoot.
Thank you for sitting down with me, Jody. I wanted to sit down and kind of get your story, because you said you have experience seeing a Bigfoot.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I have a lot of experience seeing Bigfoots. Know everything there is to know about them.
Well, good. Okay. So take me back to that day. Okay. How many years ago did this happen? And what were you doing leading up to the experience?
It all goes back when I was a little kid. Did a little thing. I remember they used to talk about Bigfoots all the time. And leading up to that day, I just had a whole bunch of experiences, you know what I'm talking about? And, you know, I've spent my whole life now learning about these Bigfoots. Know everything there is to know about it. We're going to talk about it, ain't we? We're going to talk about it? Hey, we're going to talk about it. All right, but, you know, leading up to that day, just, you know, these things, they just follow me around. I don't even hardly got to hunt them no more. They just come right to me. They come right to the door.
Wow, I love your excitement. This is great. Yeah.
How can it be that experts Richie B. and Wojo, Bradley, and Jody have similar experiences being from different places in the U.S.? The details of the experiences bring more similarities. Many people who experience possible sightings or feeling there could be a Bigfoot around experience an odd smell, but some don't experience this smell at all.
you come across any type of smell you wasn't used to?
No, because in that place where I'm at, the wind's always consistent, blowing out of the north towards the south. So it would be blowing towards him. So he had to smell me, whatever it was, but it didn't faze him because they just kept moseying on along.
It's the worst smell you ever smelled in your life. There ain't nothing like it. Once you smell a Bigfoot, you always know how to track a Bigfoot. Dogs know it. That's why, nobody ever gets the damn thing, because they can't get close enough to it. It stinks so damn bad you freaking die on your way to catching a damn Bigfoot.
For the ones that do experience this smell, what could it be? If not Bigfoot, what could create such a pungent smell? I asked experts to weigh in on this phenomenon.
So for years, I didn't smell nothing. For years, I didn't smell anything. Wojo comes out, and all of a sudden, there's this. It was weird, and I said, "Dude, do you smell that?" And he's like, "What?" I go, "I smell like it was like a strong odor of urine, like old stale urine." You know what I mean? And I was like, "Dude," and it kept coming and going with the wind, and I'm like, "Oh, something's moving." Like whatever it was on was moving. I'll let you speak. You were a hunter, and you know.
Yeah, I mean, that smell, that was just horrific. But
Smelling a pungent smell is just one characteristic surrounding Bigfoot, but the most compelling and most popular would be the footprints that many have found.
But then we were out in the snow one time with Wojo, and we found like it was an 18-inch like just print, and it's on my YouTube as well. You could see the toe separation in it, and we had a trail. Trackway, but this one was the most defined. The next one was like a hill, but all the other ones were what it was is it snowed and rained, ended with snow, and then went to 0 degrees. I called Wojo and I said, "Dude, now's the time to get out there. This is when you're going to find a print." And sure enough, we found them.
Overall, how do we explain these sightings? How can we explain smells? How can we explain the mysterious footprints? So many questions surround Bigfoot. With all of these questions, there is emotions that fuel them. What is it like to experience this phenomenon?
These emotions, I'm sure, can vary from person to person. During these interviews, I found that some try to rationalize what they experience, some that would possibly hunt but have compassion, and some that are just driven to keep doing research.
When I seen the first one, I didn't, it took me a while to kind of realize, before that other one, it went like 10 seconds. So, and I was like, I don't know what it is, but I was thinking it may come a little closer.
Mm-hmm.
But like I say, if it was just been that first one, I'd been like, well, my eyes is playing tricks on me. But it was actually two that looked identical the same as the first one. I said, no, it's something,
Yeah, there's Bigfoots around here. Everybody's seen them. I've been very close to one several times, and I was going to take the shot, but I just had that moment of sympathy where I said, he ain't trying to hurt me. Why am I going to hurt him?
So for me, I've been flanked on 3 different occasions that by myself before Wojo, and I don't go out alone anymore because of it. So there's a lot of fear associated with it.
At the end of the day, convincing the masses is a challenge, especially when trying to explain a mythical creature such as Bigfoot. All of these experiences hold validation to that individual who experienced it. The only way to truly know whether Bigfoot is real or not is to go out, have fun, explore, and maybe just see for yourself if you encounter, in the shadows, this mythical creature and decide, is Bigfoot real?